So it's the 20th of August. We're in a cornfield out in Sumas Prairie. This one has not been irrigated and it looks exceptionally good. The weather that we had there in May, this was planted around the middle of May and it's done really good growing all the way through. We had quite a wet June, and then in July we had the heat, and then we had rain again the first couple days of August, 1.5 inches, and being the 20th, coming up now, next 2 or 3 days, they're calling Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's supposed to rain again, another 20 millimeters again too. So the new seeding grasses has done well, the corn have done well, the guys who've got irrigation have done really well as well too, because the ground has never really dried out like last year. One guy told me, he came back from the accountant a month or two ago and said that in 2022, he spent about $80,000 in irrigation. Last year was close to $130,000 in diesel fuel for the pumps. So he's got to move around the different lands that he have, different places. As of July 1st this year, he spent $0. He's been irrigating since that time, from July 1st onwards, but he says he's got more grass in the bunker this year compared to the last 2 years, spending all that money on irrigation. So yeah, so it's been a really, really good year. It's almost, the old guys are saying it's almost like the way it used to be, that we used to get rain as soon as a P&E starts, and we got rain like every couple of weeks. We got a good douse of rain, and again, this is what we're after. I'll show you some pictures of this new seeding piece as well too. This is the third cut, absolutely monster crops on the first, second, and the third as well. On the corn, I'll show you some things on this too. So this is a cob I peeled back, and I'll show you some pictures of it. All the silks are attached. As soon as it turns brown on the end, it is pollinated, which is where we're at now. We've had good weather for pollination, so all the kernels are pretty well pollinated, except the last little ones on the very tips. You can see that they're still attached and they're waiting for a little bit more pollen to finish those out. But we should have really, really good cobs. And if you look at the corn plants, I've taken some pictures as well too, that the way the corn is the leaves are pointing, all that moisture goes down the stalk and right around to the base of the roots of the plant. So any rain we do get goes exactly to the root system that's right there. And so it worked out really good. So again, these are all pollinated out basically. They're just going to develop out now with the moisture we've had, and it should be ready to go by about the 20th of September. Going to be a little bit later than last year, not quite as much heat, but the yield should be greatly improved. So as soon as you see the silks browning off, then basically those kernels in there have all been pollinated and they're all going to start developing. So that's pretty well where most of the corn is at. If you get extreme heat when it's pollinating like these are just the outside rounds, what happens sometimes is that those kernels basically, or the silks on the end end up drying out. If you get temperatures like 37, 38 degrees, they end up drying out, and the kernels don't pollinate that well, and you get cobs with missing kernels on. This year we shouldn't have any of that because the weather was a bit cooler. There was nothing 38 or 39 degrees like we had the last 2 years, and so the pollination has taken place really, really well. So again, another interesting thing, by walking through all these cornfields, I have seen almost no corn rootworm beetles. As a matter of fact, today was the first day I've actually seen 1 or 2 per plant out in Chilliwack. So, and that field last year around the 20th of July was absolutely loaded, and they were eating all the silks, and we were debating whether we spray it or not spray it. This year it looks really good. The beetles are down by about 80–90% in my estimation of the fields I've gone through. Almost nothing, and the ones that are there are very immature, and because these plants have basically finished pollinating all out, they can do very little damage anymore now. They may chew on the roots a little bit, but that population has dropped all the way down. There's ladybugs out there. I see some of the aphids on some of the corn stalks, and that's not really that much of a concern. More a concern if you're trying to sell sweet corn, but on the cow corn, not really much of a thing. And the aphids, the ladybugs have laid eggs everywhere, and those larvae are going to hatch, and they'll start eating up on the aphids that are on there. So again, to summarize everything, I think we got a bumper crop of corn coming. It looks really, really good. The grass is done exceptionally well. Our bunkers are getting full of grass. So take a look through your corn crop, take a walk in, see if you see any corn rootworm beetles, and give me a buzz, let me know. But from my observation, I think they're down by 80–90%, which is nothing but good news. And the pollination's all there. We're getting moisture again this upcoming week. So we should be looking forward to probably one of the bumper crops of corn that we've had in the last 8 to 10 years.